And what happened in that class was so overwhelming and so deep. And what resonated in my spirit, and even LeVar and I talked about it, was how much pain there is in this congregation. That many of us don't know anything about.
That's right, Pastor.
And how so often we judge people.
Exactly. Quick to judge. Quick.
And are quick to criticize people about their behaviors today.
But don't know the story.
But don't know the story of where those behaviors initially came from.
Exactly. That's right, Pastor.
And the guilt that most people live with even today. The stigmas and so forth that come with it that perpetuate poor decisions that we make in our adult lives.
That's right, Pastor.
And you know what the Spirit gave to me? And I'm going to end this and I'll finish this next week. We have spent our lives in the black church preaching the gospel. I graduated from Sanford University with a Bachelor of Arts in Religion. Arts. Because people can appreciate the artistic ability to manipulate the Bible and the gospel, conjugate verbs and decline nouns and use the Greek lexicon to define. It's art. Speaking is an art. And we spend many years in the art of preaching, and the congregation has enjoyed the art, but we have done nothing with the science of the mind. Art makes you feel good. But when you have to dig into the soul of an individual and help them to understand themselves and reflect on the mental issues of their bodies, that's about the science of the mind. And most of us don't want the science of the mind because we don't want to face ourselves and deal with our issues and confront our past and move on to a better life. And so we holler and scream behind the art, but we run from the science. Because we want entertainment, but we really don't want to get better. One of the members left Tabernacle. He left Tabernacle because he said, well, Pastor Meredith, you don't preach the gospel. I want to hear about Moses. The stories of the Bible. You know, that's cute. You know why? Because that ain't about you. I want to hear Jesus die. How long you got to hear Jesus die? And here is the irony and the conflict in what the person said. The person who said it is an escort. So he runs to another church to hear the gospel, but doesn't realize his life, the highest he can go, is an escort. The best he can do with his life is an escort, but he want to hear Moses cross the Red Sea. No, nigga, you need to get across your Red Sea and deal with the issues of your life. And we run from church to church, not because we want to get better, but because we want to be entertained. And then we wonder why our communities and our families and our churches are so messed up. It's because we have not dealt with the science of the mind. Black church need to close the Bible and start dealing with the mind. We're broken from the pulpit to the back door. Preachers raping people in the congregation. Preachers who come to the pulpit looking in the congregation to see who they can sleep with. So people people in the congregation looking in the choir stand to see who they can sleep with and hooking up on the outside of the church, and all you want to be is entertained. No, baby, you are screwed up in your head when the best thing you can do with yourself is to only have sexual contact with people, but don't celebrate who you are and get your crazy body into a solid, loving relationship where somebody can appreciate you for who you are and not for your genitals. I had a preacher friend call me this week. This is how God knows I want to say something else, but this is how messed up we are. I want you to know it's showing my head, but here's what I want to do. I had a preacher, prominent preacher, said to me on the phone that he's going to Costa Rica, I think Costa Rica, one of those South American countries. And him and another pastor, prominent pastor, we're going to Costa Rica, one of those Latin American countries. And he said to me, what did he say? He said, I'm going to say something to you that I know you don't want to hear. I said, well, I don't want to hear it, but you're going to tell me anyhow. He said, the country that we're going to, the age of consent is 15. I said, you're right, I didn't want to hear that. So you're traveling, you are a pastor. Yes, you're a pastor. Who are traveling to a third world country so you can go down there and have sex with 15-year-old boys. And then come back to your pulpit and preach to people. I hung up my phone. That's right. And I said, now this is a microcosmic picture of the black church. And then we wonder why Chicago has the crime it has and why our cities and communities are so messed up. It's because we've been preaching the gospel, but we have not dealt with the science because nobody wants to face the issues of their guilt and of their past. We don't want to hear it. We want to deflect off of other people. The black preacher want to get up in the pulpit and talk about y'all.
That's good. That's good.
But I deal with us. I know what it means to be raped by a family member. And they kept it quiet. Right from the age of 12 till I was 17 years old. By my grandmother's brother. And carried the guilt. And I always thought it was my fault. And carried the guilt of it being my fault. For 40 years. Till I met LeVar. And opened up to him and told him about the rape. And I told him in a way that I was blaming myself for it. But because he has a background in early childhood development. He said to me, don't you realize that you had been violated? That person was supposed to be an uncle, an older man. And what had happened was he was a principal at a school in Gary, Indiana. And got kicked out of the school system in Gary and came to Ohio. And the family knew about it, but didn't tell the rest of us. And here he now in Toledo, Ohio, doing the same thing he was doing in Gary, Indiana, and was the superintendent of the Sunday school. Wow. And for 40 years, I lived with the guilt and the shame that it was my fault. And choices that I made over those 40 years sprung up from the termites of guilt in my own life.
My God.
called to preach, having children, married, moving from city to city as a pastor, considering myself a successful pastor, but broken and messed up on the inside. Fasted and prayed for deliverance. Did all of the disciplines that the church told me to do. Prayed. Lord, take this appetite for sex away. Fasted. Every discipline in there that they preached to me to do, I did it. I went to a therapist who misdiagnosed me. Still struggling to try to be a better person. And it wasn't until this relationship that I identified with the source of my pain and guilt. Now I live 40 years. So you think that I have to spend all my time trying to teach this? No. And you wonder why people don't come to Bible study? You wonder why they come to relationship class and life class as opposed to Bible study? Because we deal with the issues of the mind, and we deal with the issues of life, and we deal with the issues of the body. I'm done. Somebody said to me, I want Bible study. Well, go up the street. 40 years I've been preaching this and ain't seen no results in a whole lot of people's lives. I appreciate the Bible. I appreciate the Word. I appreciate the gospel in Jesus Christ. I love it. I am saved. I do know Jesus. I have been born again. But it's time that we dealt with, as my mama said, the real nitty-gritty of life and get down to the real issues that we're suffering from and face ourselves. We're not going to get to the next level until we start addressing and really unleash these issues in our minds and in our hearts. There's a reason why you can't let that weed alone. Just like there's a reason I couldn't stop having sex with men. There's a reason why you can't stop snorting cocaine. There's a reason why you have to drink until it's uncontrollable and you're drunk and you lose your inhibitions. There's a reason why you got to lose inhibitions in order to talk to people. Some of us can't even function in a crowd without a drink until we lose our fear of being around other people because we're so afraid that people really know us for who we are. And so we got to get lightheaded. We got to get... How many of us cannot just go out and have a good time until we feel a certain way and then we lose? There's a reason why you got to lose that. There's a reason why you are a serial romantic person that go from relationship to relationship, and every time it fails, it's somebody else's fault. There's a reason why you cannot settle down, build wealth in a family. We've got to figure out these reasons and deal with these issues. There's a reason why you're so angry. And the least little thing sets you off. can't talk to your children. You can't talk to your family. You're always arguing with people. You're always fighting with people to deflect what the real issue is, because 9 times out of 10, a person who's always angry really don't want you to know the real them, and so they put up this smoke screen of anger in order to hide who they really are, when on the inside they are hurting and messed up.
Wow.
That's right.
And you're right, hurt people are hurting people. There are reasons.
That's right.
This guilt's got to be dealt with. These termites need treatment.
Debug yourself.
That's right, you got to debug yourself. The roaches, the ants, the termites. I'm done. God bless you. The Lord of the church, before we leave, somebody here today may feel the need to be a part of our church. I know we're different. I celebrate our differences.
That's right. Diversity.
Diversity is not
It's healthy.
a problem, it's a blessing.
It is healthy. It's very healthy.
It's healthy. So if you're here today and you want to consider becoming a member of our church, I want to give you that opportunity before we leave. We're old school like that, join the church. If you're here today, you would become a member or part of our church. Will you just stand right where you are? Just stand to your feet. I want to recognize your decision. You feel like you can grow, be nurtured. You feel like being a part of this church is going to help you to be a better person. Succeed in life. Be more successful. Be the kind of person that everything you touch will prosper. If you believe these teachings of this church will benefit your life and you want to become a part of it. Sometimes we're a little more raw than people want us to be, but sometimes you got to be that way for people to understand it. So if you're here today and Tabernacle can be your church of choice, will you just stand to your feet? Amen. Amen. God bless you. Don't forget our incoming activities this week. Tuesday, our life relation class. We're going to go over to the Soul Bar. And don't forget, next Sunday, come casual with your t-shirts, because immediately when service is over, we're going to go over to Grant Park for our annual church picnic. It's going to be a wonderful affair. We've got ribs, barbecue chicken, hot dogs, just all of the fixings that go with a great picnic. We're going to go to Grant Park for that. So that's the plan to be here. Those of you that need special prayer when this service is over, come down front, spend a few moments with your pastor, and let's pray about some things in your life. Let us stand.
Right now is the moment
As we get ready to go, let me make something clear. I don't want you to think that I am an openly gay man because I was raped. I was not trying to say I'm gay because I was raped. And some of us believe that we are who we are as same-sex people because of the violations of our child. No, I was born this way. But some of those older people, and sometimes people can see in you who you are before you know who you are. And take advantage of you because they can see who you are before you even know who you are. And they prey upon that. And so I want you to walk away with, I don't walk away with, oh, our pastor gay because he would know, baby, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Come on, Bishop.
I am who I am because God made me this way. And I don't apologize for being who I am. Now may the grace of God and the communion of His Spirit rest, rule, and abide with us till we meet again. And all the people of God said, amen. God bless you. Go in peace. Have a wonderful and blessed week. If you're going to remain in for a few minutes to have altar prayer,